Hello, and welcome to Flix and a Six. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Costanzo, with me forever and always, the man, the myth, the prancing pony himself, Alessandro Vialsi. Say hello, Al.
Hello.
Oh my god. Our main topic for this episode is going to be Lego Batman, but first, Al, what are we drinking? Actually, you know what? But first, before the first,
Explain the prancing pony.
you want to tell listeners what the prancing pony is all about?
So for those of you who are diehard Lord of the Rings fans like we are, you'll remember that the prancing pony is an inn and bar where our adventurous hobbits go for a brief rest and a couple of drinks. And the shirt I'm wearing right now is the sign from the prancing pony.
It's pretty great.
And on it says the village of Brewers, which is where the prancing pony was. It says that the porter comes in pints. Which, again, those of you who are big fans will remember that with joy.
Speaking of pints, what size is this beer that we're drinking right now?
Well, this is one of my beers. This is an Al's Ale exclusive, and it comes in pints.
My word!
So we're enjoying a...
We're about to. I haven't tasted
about
it
to
yet.
enjoy. Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is a... This is a pint of Al's Ale. And,
Oh, I'm digging it. I mean, you kind of set yourself up for failure. The previous beer...
Yeah, I get it. It was Heady Topper, okay? I can't measure up to Heady
real
Topper.
good.
Although one of these days.
No, but to be fair, this is delicious.
So, what we have here is a IPA that I actually brewed off like a pre-existing kit. It's Falconer's Flight Extra IPA. It's using a proprietary blend of hops named after Glenn Hay Falconer, who was...
Your proprietary blend of hops. Every time.
You could be worse things.
Like a non-proprietary blend of hops. Don't be that guy.
So it's named after Glenn Hay Falconer, who's brewing legend. I know he worked for Rogue in Oregon back in like the 90s or something like that. So I think he passed a few years ago. So this
Pour one out for your homeboy.
yeah, right. So these hops were named after him. And it's pretty tasty, right? It's like
It is. Is this the same beer that we enjoyed last night?
It is.
It somehow tastes better tonight. And
wow.
I think it's... I really enjoyed it last night. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's the sheer volume and the fact that I know that it's not going away anytime soon.
It's true.
As you noticed, we cheersed, and we always cheers into the microphone, but it was more of a thud than a general clang. And that's because the glass was way too full.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, so it's a pretty solid little thing. It's only about 5% alcohol. It's citrusy. It's a bright.
It's what?
It's a bright IPA.
Bright PA?
Bright.
Bright PA?
Bright IPA. It's not a rye PA. It is an IPA, and it's bright. It's using caramel and Munich malts, and got a lovely amber color. And it's pretty tasty, if I say so myself.
I would agree with that. Big fan. This is also a thumbs up. I haven't given a beer a thumbs down here yet, have I?
No, I guess I've chosen well.
Yeah, you've been doing good by me. One day, you're going to have to pick the trashiest beer to go with, like, the trashiest movie that we watched. It's going to be Garbage Fest 2017. We'll let you know when it's coming.
We'll drink that one when we watch the Star Wars holiday special.
We have to do that. Oh, my God. Yes.
I don't know if I can survive.
I think it's going to happen.
That's a train wreck of a fucking...
Can we do that while it's on?
It's a train wreck of puppies, newborn babies, and nuclear missiles.
Maybe we could do that as like a future endeavor where we do almost like a Mystery Science Theater type. Like it's a track. We won't be able to play the thing, but you could sync us up to it.
What you're hearing is us planning the inevitable final episode of Flix and a Six.
That's it.
Because there's no way we survive.
That puts the nail
There's
in the
no way we ever do another one after that.
Oh, man. So, this beer is our sponsorship.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I know we keep telling you what we're not sponsored by, because we're definitely not sponsored by Newberg Brewing yet.
You're just going to keep saying it. Drive it home until it happens. I like it.
Fake it till you make it. But we are sponsored by Al's Ales, because I'm Al. And this is one of my ales.
Al, and these are my ales. A shout out also, we meant to do this earlier, but this episode is going to have a secondary sponsor.
Oh, wow. I fucked up big time on that one. Didn't I? Oh, no. We got it right. Didn't we do that already?
What? We didn't do it yet.
We fucked up.
We did.
Now I have to apologize in addition to the...
Tell her it's coming. Victoria.
This podcast is sponsored by Victoria.
Do you actually ever call her Victoria fully?
Only to fuck with her.
Oh, okay. Does she not like it?
Well, it's just not her name. She's Vicky.
Oh. No.
Or Victoria Louise.
So her name is... What do you mean it's not her name, then? What is her name?
You don't call me Alessandro other than the intro to this fucking podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I'm just trying to get it to catch on.
I mean, it's a good name.
But, Vicky.
Yeah.
And the reason we're shouting you out is because tremendous thank you for the unsolicited post about us.
We gained one whole new follower from that.
Which is pretty great. That's pretty great. That's like 100% increase in followers. Like you.
That is not.
And then the other person that followed. Right? No, it's her.
That's not how the math works, no.
I'm pretty sure it is. If she was following us, and she was the only person that was following us, then promoted it, and one other person came on, 100% increase.
We have 50 followers! What? Which, admittedly, hopefully by the time this episode airs, we'll have at least 5 more.
Because if not, this is going to make it go way down. Today's episode,
Wait, did we really forget to do that in the Logan one?
Yeah, 100%.
I feel bad because I definitely teased it to her that that's where it was going. That's where it was going to go. So
now you just have. Now she's gonna. Maybe she'll listen to it more than once. Maybe we'll get more listens on that track because she's gonna be like, "Wait, did they say it?" In the same way that you forgot, or we could have just pretended that we did.
we got so far ahead of ourselves.
We did.
That's my fault.
We were trying to do too much at once. A little too close to the sun there.
Poor Icarus.
Pour one out for Icarus.
Or Buster, if you prefer.
This episode, we're going to talk about Lego Batman.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to touch on the Lego universe as a whole, or what we know of it. There's way more than I'm privy to. But I was a big fan of... Here I go again. I was a big fan of this. Every movie so far that we've talked about, I've been a pretty big fan of. The Lego movie, a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Super enjoyable. Even more so if you're a Batman fan, such as myself. And
oh yeah, because I mean, you're a bigger Batman.
I am a Bat fan.
You're a Bat fan. You're a Batman fan. You're a Batfleck fan. You're all sorts of Bat fans.
I'm a Batfleck fan. Yeah. Fucking. More on that later.
No, but I'm a big Batman fan. You're a much bigger Batman fan, and you're not even anywhere near the end of the scale on that one. Because I don't think you've read a ton of the comics, have you?
I have.
A ton of them, or just some of them? Okay.
I have over time.
I apologize. I have understated your Bat fanhood.
I also had quite the collection of original toys that I'm.
That I know.
Yeah.
And also as we spoke of earlier, we're weirdly a fan of Batman versus Robin, or Batman and Robin rather. Sorry, up until you grew up and realized.
Yeah,
oh my God,
realized how bad it was. Fun
train wreck.
Fun fact about that movie: a buddy of mine, Jesse, he puts together these bad movie nights, as they're called, and he gets a bunch of friends over, and him and his roommates. I think they're still his roommates, but they would screen movies prior to it. Now they did some research here. They would watch a couple of movies, they'd watch bad movies, and they would pick the one that's just right. Right? And not bad movies like, go to a Blockbuster. I know I'm aging myself right now. And rent.
More on that later.
Yeah, yes.
Self-promotion.
Yeah.
Spinchoon.
Spinchoon, but you can go to or you used to be able to go to a Blockbuster and just find if you go to the horror section and just randomly grab at the aisle, you'd grab a horrible B movie.
You could pick up an actual piece of shit.
We're not talking about that. It's not that easy. They go way deeper. They actually watch these movies there's qualifications. It had to have a theatrical release.
Okay. No, that's probably good though. That means that you're actually filtering for a little bit of quality there.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways, it ends up being way worse than any of those B movies could ever be. But
because they're trying and failed?
They do that. Yeah, they do that. They watch it, and one of the best things about these bad movie nights is they've seen this movie before more than once, because not only do they scan to find the right movie to use, they watch and agree upon the movie, then they watch the movie again, and they come up with the drinking rules.
Oh.
And then...
So they're responsible for all those games online?
No, they should be, though, because their games are tremendous. But they'll watch it again with us and enforce the rules. And they have like a little quiz, and it's a good time. So what they'll do is
That's cool to make a steaming pile of shit interactive.
It becomes an event, yeah. And what they do is they actually read the rules one at a time, and you have to try to guess what the movie is.
Really?
Yeah, which
could be interesting.
Adds a little fun.
Some are going to be dead giveaways, but that could be interesting.
Okay. Nobody got the I got the Batman and Robin one.
Oh, okay.
That's where this is going.
So they weren't all horror movies.
No. They weren't even horror movies.
Oh, okay.
They were bad movies.
Okay.
Like it's bad movie night. It's not B movie night. It's straight up bad movie night.
Because I'm also thinking Brian would be a big fan of this game.
Yeah. He would kill it with the B movies.
As we also
B horror
movies. With Brian and his piece.
Yeah.
Bad horror movies.
But
and Airplane.
But anyway, so I went to 2 of them. One of them was Spice World.
Why?
And the other one was Batman and Robin.
Oh.
You don't know what the movie is before you get there. That's part of it. No, that's part of the invite.
Fair. That's fair.
And I was able to guess the Batman and Robin one, being a fan of.
Probably should have been able to guess the Spice World.
And like
anytime someone says spice, that wasn't a dead giveaway.
Yeah. But like no, I mean like the rules are actually they're very well thought out. Like to the point where like it's like oh my god these poor souls.
Oh my god, you have seen this
they've overanalyzed this movie
times.
First, which is it's just bad. And then second, it's like every time they say this word, take a drink. You're like. What?
Hence the spice comment.
No, but it's more like when does that ever come up?
Yeah.
And then you're like, why does this keep coming up as you're taking swigs of bourbon, as it were?
Those games are not supposed to be with hard alcohol.
Yeah, no,
mixed drinks maybe, but like you're not supposed to do fucking whiskey on the rocks and do shots.
It was rough.
What the fuck is wrong?
It was also the only way to get through it in my adult age because the Batman and Robin is a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Now, bringing it back in
with a god.
What?
That movie.
That was weird. That was off the wall.
Yeah.
Shoot, was that a what's his name? Schumacher? What?
I know he was Batman Forever. I don't remember if he stuck around.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if he stuck around for that one or not.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Van, cover me out.
Batman. Batman stuff.
Hello, secret camera.
Yeah, Michael Cera had some solid lines.
I want to look it up. I want to actually go right into that. Hello, secret camera. Favorite line from the trailer. If you've caught it, the Lego Batman trailer. And honestly, spoilers. We're not even going to do a warning for this one.
No, this one's going to be just spoilers, start to finish. Let's just do it.
It is, but like one, you probably don't care, and two, there's really nothing to spoil. Except for some of the fun jokes, which we're going to get into.
There are some fun jokes, some fun gags, but like. There's nothing plot-wise that like you haven't seen in one of these movies before. Like nothing they did that was super, like innovative with any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you kind of know where this is going.
So, the "Hello Secret Camera" is it's just a silly line that Michael Cera has in the movie. He plays the Robin Dick Grayson character, and it's he has a couple of them. His deliveries on these like subtle things are just so silly.
Yes, because
they just have you like
my favorite.
One
of my favorite lines from that is also one of his lines. It's not that one. It's when Batman is interrogating him, and he says he's asking for all of his qualifications, and he goes, "Can you be quiet?" And he leans in and he goes, "When I desire to be."
It's so good, it's so silly. But overall, the movie's really funny.
By the way, breaking news.
What's that?
It was Joel Schumacher.
Oh, nice. I mean, I could have figured that. It's just very silly. The storyline as a whole
silly,
is nothing...
but also smart as shit. Which
it is smart.
It's almost
an
impossible line to walk, and somehow they do it.
Yeah,
and it was the same. It was true of the first Lego movie too.
Yeah,
right. Like it's pretty impressive how they've been managed. And this is different directors too. This was I think it's Chris McKay, and the original one was Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who they're fucking awesome. They did the Jump Street movies. Right. They're doing the Han Solo movie. Like those guys, everything they touch is gold so far. It looks like.
But and we'll get and there's like this extensive universe of Lego movies like that you can get on.
Yeah, because
disc.
They're doing at least one. They have at least one more planned out, don't they? Like I don't know why they wouldn't continue.
No, I mean like there's other like there's like the non-theatrical release Lego stuff. There's like tons of Lego stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's this whole universe that they're building. And it's really cool to see. And I was like especially after the Lego movie that came out a few years back, which was phenomenal.
It was, and I had zero desire to see it when it was coming out. I was like, oh, it's just like
the special
kids movie, like whatever. I don't care that there's all like how many cartoon movies have we seen where it's like, oh, we have great like voice cast, whatever, like that. And my friends wanted to go see it, and they like basically dragged me to go see it, and I was like, whatever, like. I loved that movie. Yeah. Like, it was really fucking good.
It's completely unexpected. Like, for us, Kim and I saw it with our friend Diana. We were we went to visit her when she was at school. We were like on a little road trip. We were hanging out that night. We didn't have anything to do, so we rented a movie. It's like totally unassuming, not thinking like this movie is going to be immediately enter my collection of movies.
Yeah.
I was just like, after that movie ended, I was like, wow, like that was really, really good. Like everything about it,
dude. It was the same thing with me. I went with like Alex and Devin and Vicky, and like, and I think we had a couple other people we went with who were up. We were up at Quinnipiac where Alex and Devin went to school, and we had been up. Like me and Vic went up for like a weekend, and like we were just like it was a rainy night, and it was like the last night we were gonna be there. It's like, oh, let's go see this movie, and I was like, oh, come on, and like the first thing, the whole thing with like the song, I was like, this is living down to my worst expectations, pretty much.
And then it becomes the song that you're singing after the movie ends.
Oh, not only that, but like 2 minutes after the song, it fucking takes off.
Oh yeah,
like a racehorse, and it's like, wow, like okay, like this is
like,
good. Like,
I did not expect a Lego movie to be so deep,
like layered, like like allegory and everything like that. Like I don't even think there was a bunch of people who had big roles in who I didn't even realize were going to be in it.
It was just cameo after
I didn't realize how much Will Ferrell was involved with it, like going in. Because I had like no anticipation for the movie, like no buzz, nothing, whatever. Like,
and then there's your lead, Chris Pratt.
Yes,
just love that name.
And spaceship being screamed. Spaceship. And Will Arnett as Batman, which he was so good in the few lines that he had that you get this movie, like, and he's. God, it's fucking awesome.
And that's the reason why I was actually like I was super hyped for this movie, for the Lego Batman movie, specifically because of that little performance that he had as Batman in the Lego movie. He is
so damn funny, and he's perfect for this character. Like,
darkness.
You don't watch.
No parrots. The opposite of light.
I know I've mentioned the show to you a few times, and I don't think you watch it at all. BoJack Horseman, which is like the more depressed adult version of this turn by Will Arnett.
Okay.
He's a fucking amazing actor / voice actor, like comedy specifically. I haven't seen him do anything that wasn't that I was like thought otherwise of him, but like he gets it with like this sort of thing. Like he gets in there like deep, and he does his thing, and like he's perfect as Batman. Like honestly, like some of the weaker things is when he's not Batman, when he's like being Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
he's great as Batman.
Yeah,
like
he's fantastic
like,
at
some
it.
of the scenes, like, and him and
which lends itself, which is really funny because like what intended or not, that lends itself to like a big part of the Batman character, which is Batman the disguise for Bruce Wayne, or is Bruce Wayne the disguise for Batman?
No. Now you're trying to do the whole Kill Bill thing with Superman.
It's really funny though that you say that. But yes, he's way better at the Batman character.
Yes, and him and Ralph Fiennes have a tremendous chemistry with Rafe playing Alfred and everything like that. Like even from that scene that's in the trailer, it's a funny scene, you know. Snakes, clowns,
clown snakes,
snake clowns.
Yeah, snake clowns.
No, you're afraid of having a family. No, now it's snake.
Now it's snake clowns because you put that in my head.
I love it. And the final scene is they have that in there. Like.
They call back to it. Oh my god, so silly. All right, so. Diving right into that, Ralph Fiennes being Alfred.
Also, Zach Galifianakis, better Joker than Jared Leto?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
That's just a yes.
Yes. Never thought I would say those
honestly, through no fault of...
no, I don't blame Jared Leto.
No fault of Jared Leto.
No, I like him everything pre the last, 8 albums that he's done. Anything after A Beautiful Lie doesn't matter. For 30 Seconds to Mars. They don't exist in my mind. No, sorry, on with what you were saying. We were talking about Alfred and everything.
Right, Alfred, played by Ralph Fiennes. Also, because you have this, it's the Lego Batman movie, but it's also like the Lego proper. They have all of these characters that they can access.
Well, I didn't realize they were going to do that until they get to the Phantom Zone thing, and it's the Eye of Sauron.
Right.
And Voldemort.
Right. Voldemort, which is really what I want to touch
Jurassic
on.
Park Raptors?
Is the fact that they have Voldemort
And he's voiced by not Ray Fiennes. He's voiced by Eddie Izzard.
That's so silly. I love that.
And Eddie Izzard did a good job as Voldemort too.
That was good.
He's great too. Like from his most absurd in Mystery Men as Tony P. And he's tremendous on. I don't know if you never watched Hannibal, did you?
No, I did not.
Tremendous fucking show that I can't believe that they canceled. And he plays a serial killer in that. He has a decent bit of run on that show. Really good.
He was just... that's so silly. I love that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I just love that. It's just like, he's there. Like, I'm also very curious, like, what's the reason behind that? Like, I don't know. Does Eddie Izzard just do Voldemort for Lego usually, and then they decided to keep him?
Was Voldemort in the first Lego movie? I only saw it one time.
There's also, like, there's Lego games.
Sure,
and stuff like that. So I don't know if he does the voice for that character. Because I'm curious, like, is it a licensing thing? Is it it was just more contractual thing, or is it just a really silly, like, hey, we have him, let's not use him?
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I guess that's a good point. I'm gonna guess Ray Fiennes would. I think it's just that they wanted him more as Alfred than they did as Voldemort.
Well, my guess is that
because he got a decent amount of run on screen.
He did, but my guess is that they've either. I think they used his voice probably before for Voldemort. Is what I'm gonna guess. Otherwise, why not? But that was so. That whole thing to me was just so funny because like when I heard him, I'm like. It's really funny because I know you're in the movie, but you're not doing his voice. It's just that was great. But there's like the cameos. Let's run. You know what? Let's keep going with cameos. Let's run through the people that are in this movie. First off, we have the Bluth family.
The Bluth family?
Two members.
Was there other members? Did I forget? Who did I forget?
Batman and Robin.
Sorry, I thought that meant...
No more. Just that.
I thought you meant there was more Bluths past them.
No, just Batman and Robin.
I'm happy to have a movie chock full of Bluths.
Played by Will Arnett and
By the way, for any of you who don't realize we're talking about Arrested Development, what the fuck is wrong?
You should know. You should know.
Both of our favorite shows.
Yeah. Oh.
Which, by the way, they're making a new season soon. I didn't say anything.
So... Follow that up with Rosario Dawson playing Batgirl.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's cool. She's
just
also,
in general.
From things that I've heard from, like, I listen to a lot of Kevin Smith stuff, and, like, he's mentioned her before and how she's actually a big fan of, like, certain comics and things like that. It's pretty cool.
Well, she's fucking the Night Nurse in Marvel, so...
Well, I think also, that lends itself to it as well, but it's just, like, it's cool to have people that are interested.
I would hope so, because she's, like, the glue that holds that whole universe together on Netflix. Like,
right.
And she's really good in that. I like her a lot.
Definitely. And then there's Alfred, which we touched on, who was played by Ray Fiennes. And then a real great thing here when it rolled through the credits. I was like, that's really funny. That sounds exactly like the voice of Siri on my phone. Pewter, which is credited as apostrophe Pewter. Siri.
Yeah, I was like, it sounds like Siri, but like, are they clear to do that? Or did they just kind of come up with their own thing that was like that? Or like... Is like Apple sponsoring this? Like
I don't know. I guess like they must have gotten the permission, obviously, to do it.
Well, obviously.
And I don't think. I mean, Apple with its like long with the creativity there and their long run of like that company's background in animated films. I'm sure it was like an easy sell too.
Yeah.
Followed up quickly by Zach Galifianakis' Joker, which we talked about, which was awesome.
So good.
It was great.
And
not only was he's good at he really owned like this version of the Joker where it's like this relationship issue between him and Batman, and it's just so silly.
That whole thing was really fun. Like that was what sold me early on with the whole thing. It's the scene where they're face to face early in the movie, and he goes, "I guess I'm just fighting around." Yeah, because they drive that home so much later. Like it sounds like two people who have been dating for a long time, who really are having struggles in their relationship. It does not sound like hero and villain at all. It purely sounds just like a romantic relationship.
On its head, it's what he wants from him is for him to tell him that he hates him.
Yes.
But that's what he wants so badly.
Say you hate me.
Say yeah.
I'm not going to say it. I don't hate you.
So good. Follow that up with...
I hate you. That's good.
Harley Quinn played by none other than Mona Lisa Saperstein.
Oh. She's the worst. That's Parks and Rec. Please watch that show.
Yeah, and then another character from there. What was his name in Parks and Rec?
I'm just looking at this now. I didn't realize that fucking Conan
O'Brien, the Riddler.
I didn't realize he was the Riddler. Because he only had like one or two lines.
Real short. Real subtle.
Oh, he was Rafi on the League is who you're talking about. Jason Mantzoukas.
Who played Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Also short. Real short part.
Yeah, a lot of them were, I guess, Bane was really the only one who
he had a couple extra lines.
A few lines, and like I love that they did the cartoonish version of the Tom Hardy Bane.
Right, that was played by Doug Benson.
But fucking Rafi on the League too. Another tremendous show. We're just gonna give you guys all these amazing things to watch.
Yeah,
because
just seriously, like if we suggest it, make it a list and just watch it. Just do it.
It's funny because
promise you,
this is the first time I get to self promote something of mine. Keep an eye out for a little article on what TV shows you should watch on the Spinchoon.
Spinchoon.com. Follow that up with one of my favorite cameos. Two-Face.
See, he only really had like one line too. I didn't even realize it was him.
Do you know what the significance is, though?
That he played Harvey Dent in the Keaton Batman.
That's so brilliant.
I know I'm not
love that so much.
I'm not as well versed with the older two Batmans as you are. I know that those are like really like your thing. You love them, but I'm aware of the deal.
but like going in, like I had like skimmed through this, and going in, I knew like who was going to be like who I should be looking out for. And when I saw that, I was just like, I was so excited. And then when his character popped up on screen, I was out of my seat. I was like, there he is! It's so good!
I still haven't heard anything about him being in Star Wars, which is a travesty. Right?
I don't know. I mean, if he's going to be in it, they're going to keep it a secret as much as they can.
But I feel like we would have had to have heard by now. I mean,
maybe.
Like, it's just how they do it.
We'll see. If
they don't find a way to fit him in one of these three movies, it's a big flaw.
So we have Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
I know the name, but I can't really think of who the hell
she was in. She was actually in Mad Max.
She was?
Yeah.
She was one of the wives?
She was one of the wives.
I wouldn't remember that.
She was in Divergent.
Didn't see it.
She was in First Class.
The one with the wings.
I believe so, because her name was Angel.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
The one with the wings that were tattooed on her back and they were real wings.
Yeah,
she was like a stripper in the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
Yes. That was the one. I was scrolling through the list and I clicked away, and now I can't get back to the list.
I keep forgetting that Jermaine Clement was Sauron. The guy from, what's it called? Was it Flight of the Conchords? Flight of the Conchords.
I didn't actually pick up on that one.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And then the Ellie Camper, she's funny.
Yeah. Phyllis, that was the voice of the thing that was running the Phantom Zone, right?
Yes, I think it was the block. It was
the Lego block.
It was a Lego block,
right, or something like that.
No, it was a Lego block with like there's like these little circular colored Lego pieces that was just on each of the pieces.
I think I just remembered like thinking that it reminded me of a stoplight. That's what it was.
And then one of the great things here was was Green Lantern and Superman, which was voiced again by Channing Tatum.
Yeah, because they were both in the Lego movie, right?
Which was they were great in the Lego movie.
Yes,
especially when because like. The Superman character is supposed to be like so cool and badass, and then there's the Green Lantern character who is just such this dweeb that's just like mooching off of him and like likes being around him, and he's just this annoying friend that he puts up with. So much so that when they're in the jail cell together, he's like, "Oh my god, we're right next to each other," and he's like, Superman's like, "Can I get another cell, please?" So silly. And then any other Adam Devine playing the Flash.
Yeah, but he really only had like 2 lines.
It was like one line.
Hector Elizondo is a good actor. He was Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't have honestly recognized his voice ahead of time. Mariah Carey only had a couple of lines.
Yeah, didn't care. Don't really care.
Chris Hardwick, one line.
Chris Hardwick, Ralph Garman.
As reporter number 3.
Big fan of Ralph Garman. Happy that he was in there.
I don't think I know him.
Ralph Garman. When I learned about him, it was during it's a show that he does with Kevin Smith called Hollywood Babylon. Where they just do
names from them, but I definitely
they just do a podcast together every week. They usually do it live at the Improv in California, and he does a really great job at impressions.
Okay,
and he just does a ton of them during the show, and he's cool. I like him. I dig him. But yeah, there's like tons of other folks that were in it, but just wanted to roll through some of them.
Yeah, because I mean, like even the ones that just do like it's like one line or two here, like it's funny, but like the main cast like did a really really good job with all of this. Like, like they all capture the character really well. Like
which is funny, right? Because it's like it does Batman. It's the Lego movie.
Yeah,
does the Lego movie part right, Master Builder, all that stuff, where they're like putting things together.
Although they thankfully, I think, kind of put that in the backseat a little bit. Like they really only said it like a couple times. Like, oh, Master
which
Builder,
is great because it's just tying the universe together. But it's like also it's really cool. Like they did the Batman story well, and they did the Batman story better than they did in the last Batman movie, which is something that we touched on before we started this.
Pre-show we discussed a little bit. Like this stands with like the best of the Nolan Batmans, is representing Batman and his story. It's a really good.
It's over
Batman
the top.
Movie.
It's like it can't be done right to a degree, but because it's animated, it works and doesn't come off as campy like the old.
That's
Batman
true.
movies.
You can kind of forgive it because of the whole fact that it's like an animated like situation and everything. Right. But it's also like it's campy and it knows it.
Right.
And it's campy and it knows it, and it's not shoving it in
It's campy and it knows it, but it's not Batman and Robin or Batman Forever.
Yes. See, the thing is, like,
if you can break that down.
So, well, because we were talking earlier about how you liked Batman and Robin as a kid. And
absolutely.
Now, and it's similar for me.
Had the Mr. Freeze action figure that had these little.
You loved Mr. Freeze.
These little. I was a huge Schwarzenegger fan.
I know you still are.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If you had asked 10-year-old me who your favorite actor was,
it would have been Schwarzenegger. 100%.
Absolutely.
First R-rated movie I saw, Terminator 2. Stuck with me ever since.
I know
one of the greatest movies of all time.
Top
10,
no doubt. It's a great movie. Yeah. But I still enjoy Batman Forever.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but it's better than Batman.
I love it. Sure. I enjoy it Forever, and I don't have any bad things.
People rip on that one a lot too. Yeah. It's not nearly the travesty that.
Not at all.
That Batman and Robin is.
No. But I actually enjoy it. There's so much. It's funny because like there's the Batman Forever holds a special place in my heart. Because I was a big fan of Seal. I was Kissed by a Rose.
Wow.
But the Jim Carrey. I know. I love. I love Jim Carrey.
Your second favorite actor.
Yeah, a huge fan, and having him in the movie. I remember like this was back in the day when the way that I would decide, like figure out what movie we were gonna see, I would actually like get the Sunday paper, go to paper.
What's that?
Yeah, exactly. I would go to the E4, which was the entertainment section, I think, in the Staten Island Advance, and go directly to the ratings section. I would look through the stars of the movies, see what they got. I think it was out of 4 at the time, or out of 5, and that's when I first started like analyzing movies. And I just remember like reading like, oh, Batman flick coming up with Jim Carrey playing the Riddler, and I was like, what is this? And like it brought it to my mom, and I was like, can we see this? And so we ended up seeing that, and I loved it, and it stuck with me forever. But there's a few things. One, his lines are great in that movie because Jim Carrey can deliver anything and make it hysterical.
Yeah, so he was the only one that the campiness worked for.
I think it worked for Tommy Lee Jones as well.
Some of it.
People actually, I've heard people like try to tear that apart, but I actually thought it worked. He played the part of the character in the universe that was intended.
Well, that's probably true.
And I don't think that's any fault. I actually think that
I think it's also you can tell he doesn't really want to be there in some scenes, though.
Sure. Phoned in just a bit.
Yes, and also the fact that, well, I guess maybe it wasn't so well known then, but now that he literally despises Jim Carrey. Like,
it came across that way.
Yeah,
on screen, which is good because it's actually supposed to on the screen.
But you've heard the story?
No, I haven't.
Oh wow! After this is done, because that won't make for good audio, we're gonna have to
we'll discuss,
and I'll show you a couple articles. About that.
So, and then there's one other piece, and I don't know if you remember this. There's one other big reason that Batman Forever stands out to me.
I don't remember.
Years ago, Al had a Sega Nomad.
I do.
Al was the only person that owned a Sega Nomad, which what it was this handheld Sega Genesis.
You're correct. I've literally never ever seen another one other than the one that
You're the only person that I know that's ever had one of these, where it was a handheld game that looked similar to a Game Gear, but the cartridge that you put in it was the full-size Sega Genesis. This cartridge, yes. And you were able to hook this sucker up to the TV.
You could use it as the first controller with a Genesis, which in later years I was able to do when I got.
You were also able to plug. You were able to plug a controller into it as well for the second player.
Yeah, but I think you could also use it as a controller with the Genesis.
I think you were.
I think it was the first system that had that sort of compatibility. Yeah.
Now, what's super special about this is there was a Batman Forever game on that system.
I played it a lot.
And you and me, we like. we stayed up late and played that in Vermont.
Yeah, where I lived.
And by late, I mean like 9:30 because we were young.
Well, because I was like 6 and you were 8.
Yeah. But I remember just like we were crushing that game. Yes. We loved it.
Yes. No, I played a lot of that game. Like, and that was really the first, because you were the big gamer. You are a big gamer still. And I still love playing video games, although it's much more selective for me now.
Sure.
But I didn't have a system until GameCube in 2001.
Right.
2001. I didn't get it until we were in the house we're in. Like, so, the Genesis Nomad thing. I forgot what that thing was called. I didn't even know what it was
Sega
called.
Nomad.
You know what it was called. Yep. And then after that, eventually I got a Game Boy.
It's sued for that.
Yeah, I remember.
By who?
We're not sponsored by Sega. And considering Sega basically only exists on paper now,
right.
We never will be.
That's the only sponsorship we ever get, and then the doors close.
So back to Lego Batman after that tangent.
Yeah. So this movie did a lot of callbacks, which is what really did the fan service for the Batman fans. A lot of it was one of the great ones was when he like rolls back through the outfits. I think it was through the outfits.
Reggae Man?
Where Alfred is being like, it's like Alfred was like, I stuck with you through that time when you were this, and then they show a clip from Batman and Robin. Through this, they show a clip of Batman Forever. Then they go back, Batman Returns, Batman 89 Batman. Then they go even that weird one from the 60s.
Oh, and
they show you the Adam West Batman. I was like, oh my god, that is so good. Now I don't know. Have you ever seen
the Adam West Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, that was like one of those like weird shows that happened to be syndicated. That like, I saw some of it when I was a kid. Yeah.
What about?
I don't remember it that well, but like I remember watching some. Like it was on at like 5 o'clock at night or something like that. Like during the week. Like I used to see it as a kid. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I used to watch it too. It's so weird.
Like I don't remember a lot of the details, but I remember watching it as a kid.
Are you aware that the shark repellent
was a thing?
Yes. Is 100%.
I don't remember how or like exactly like what happened with it, but yes, I remember that was a thing.
I loved those call-outs where they went back to the 60s Batman, where they did
and then he uses it and he goes, "Oh wow, it actually works."
It actually works. Yeah. So the shark repellent, and then there was later on they all get dressed. They all get like their garbs on, and Alfred puts on the 60s Batman costume, which is great. And one of the other big things, Robin and Batman are fighting a few people, and he goes, "Come on, let's hit people so hard words materialize."
Oh yeah, they do the 60
they do the pow bang. It's so good. Oh man, I love that.
I was surprised how deep they got into the lore of Batman, both comics and show and movie. But they also did with Superman too, which is weird because it was a Batman movie.
It went deeper than I expected.
Like the fortress of where he was with like the whole thing, like making fun of the Gene Hackman, or not Gene Hackman, Marlon Brando, rather,
yes,
leaving imprints.
I knew who you were talking about. Too.
Well, Gene Hackman was Lex Luthor, right. So whatever. And the whole thing with the Phantom Zone and Zod getting locked up in there, that's like deep Superman stuff in this movie as well.
And then one thing that was just so silly to me, the movie starts off and has me bawling laughing within like seconds before any characters are on screen. The movie starts off
all good movies.
Black. All good movies start in black, and it's just the black screen. And then
because it was they basically parodied the start of Dark Knight.
Yeah,
right. Like the way it was started.
Exactly. Well, Warner Brothers and all that. It's like Warner Bros. or Brothers. And then he goes into DC, the house that Batman built. And then it was like Relativity.
Yeah. Oh,
not sure what these guys do, but their logo's pretty cool. And it was just like at that point, I was like, "This movie's got me. Like, I'm in." It's just the DC, the house that Batman built. That one got me. But yeah, like to what you were saying, like the fact that they brought in Superman and all that, and like the Phantom Zone actually played a significant part in the movie.
Yeah, like it wasn't just like a throwaway thing, like that. Like that was pretty much the crux of it, like like sending them like all the villains there, breaking them out. Joker, and I thought it was cool the whole subversive nature of like the Joker doing the one thing no one expected to get Batman's approval.
Right.
Turn himself in.
Yes.
And turn all the other criminals in. oh yeah, we're not going to do anything anymore. We surrender.
Like as a whole, like the plot was silly. It worked.
It was like
in a really cool way.
It was almost like the anti Dark Knight, where like I'm going to make you break your one rule. It's like I'm going to break my one rule to get you to commit. Yeah. Like
Oh my god, it was so silly. And then what about the? There's a lot of good one-liners. Actually, no. Before I do that, I'll talk back about the callbacks. There's one to one of the ones that I caught real like, and I was just like, yes! Like I jumped out like my seat a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And Kim was like, well, what the hell are you doing? He says, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That's from the '89 Batman movie.
Oh, that's right. You were saying it's like your favorite line.
Yeah, it's my favorite line from that movie. It's my favorite. Maybe it's definitely. There's two lines from that movie that are at the very top of my list. One of them is obviously, "Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?" That's one of my favorite lines from that movie. And then the second line would be this particular one, where he's in the in Vicky Vale's apartment. Not Vicky who promoted this episode.
Not that Vicky.
He's in Vicky Vale's apartment.
There's such a good Vicky Vale thing that you didn't watch Chuck, and I can't remember.
And so he's standing at the fireplace, and the Joker's in the apartment, and he grabs the fire poker and he goes, "You want to get nuts? Bah! Let's get nuts!" And he like slams it.
Okay, yeah.
And the fact that they called to that, I was like, yes! I was like, oh my god! Like this is. I was like, is this Lego? Like is this a Lego movie specifically made for me? Like this is how this went down
for me. They were like 1% of 1% of people who are gonna get all of this.
Let's make a movie and let's throw a few lines right at Anthony. Like these are for him. Oh my god, those were awesome. But then,
I forgot to tell you that my Make-A-Wish gift for you was I found all these things for him to do.
So then the part that one of the things that I loved about it was like there's also a lot of unique stuff that is memorable in the movie. For instance, the line that you said, the Robin line.
Oh yeah, gets me every time.
What was it again?
When I desire to be.
When I desire to be. So silly.
Yes.
Just that's like it's super silly. And then there's the scene where Bruce Wayne is in at the gala for Jim Gordon's retirement, and this kid comes up to him, eventually, it's Dick Grayson, it's Robin, and he goes, he's telling him, he's like, my name's Richard Grayson. He goes, but my friends call me Dick, and he goes, kids can be cruel sometimes. I was just like, that's so good. That is so stupid. I love it. And because he's not paying attention to it at all. Yeah. And it's like, will you adopt me? He's like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Like, oh, great.
Oh, my God.
That whole thing, sorry, what about your son? Wait, I wasn't serious about that. Alfred is like the key component that pushes the entire movie forward. Like he's constantly changing things around and like forcing. Oh my god! I thought they were actually going to kill Alfred.
For a second there, I was too, and I was like,
because he says like basically like choose, but don't choose me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna fall now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
yeah.
No.
Well, how about this too? About same in that scene, which is where I really started to notice it. Anytime there was wind, Alfred's hair blew. But it's the whole headpiece, including the bald part, which is amazing. Because one of the beautiful things about these Lego movies is that they
treat them like Legos.
Every piece of the movie is a Lego piece.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sure, they computer animate it, and maybe it bends in a way that it wouldn't bend.
But there's no but they're soft edges. It's the clip-on piece of a Lego.
Like they do a torch scene where they're burning through something, and it's just the little flame piece, like the little flame Lego pieces are showing up. It's like
yes,
and they pop up. It's it's so good, and they did that so well in the Lego movie as well. I loved it. And then
there were some big set pieces in this movie where it's there's fucking chaos going on the screen. It's it all works,
right.
When he's doing the thing is they're falling and they're master building the thing, and it's they're building this thing, and it's holy shit, that works.
Yeah, I can't imagine the amount of work that went into that.
Yeah, I don't know how they do. Can you remember hearing all the stories, the whole the claymation thing prior to this sort of thing, how long it takes to render any one scene of movement? There, there's this has got to be similar, not nearly as arduous as that is,
but the detail in itself, to make it look as authentic as it looks in every scene.
Because it looks like Lego pieces. It looks like a mixture of Legos and clay.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just so well done. And then, there's all the subtleties that are basically a movie version of your childhood imagination. He pulls off his Batman cowl, and his hair pops on.
Yes. And then he shakes it.
And he shakes it, and it pops to a different thing. That's exactly like when you're a kid and you're replacing the head with a piece of hair.
You pull one hair off and you put a new hair on.
Yeah, but you're not thinking of it as like this transition where for a second this guy has no hair. It looks like that.
Yes.
And like it's just they do that. Yes. And they do it so well and so true to the form of like actually playing with Legos.
Yeah, that attention to detail is like honestly pretty fucking incredible.
Mind-boggling.
I'm pretty sure it's bottled.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it make sense? Why would you boggle your mind?
Oh, man. What movies was that? Blades of Glory.
Was that from Blades of Glory?
I think it's Blades of Glory. See, a movie that I did not expect to reference, but apparently do.
I mean, there's some lines in that fucking movie. But I had the moment that you had with the last time I pulled up the Not Like This with Swish from The Matrix, and you're like, oh, I love that line. Couldn't tell you where it's from.
I love that line. I use it all the time. Yeah. Oh my god. But overall, like that movie was just so. It's just silly. Like it's real. A lot of it is really silly, and there's like certain things that stick with me. Like it's actually straight up from the commercial, along with the "Hello Secret Camera" thing, which I keep saying.
Yes.
And I'm sure eventually I'm gonna drive Kim crazy because I keep doing "Hello Secret."
Too bad.
But
she's marrying you. She knows that she's getting.
The other thing is when he puts the lobster in the microwave.
Yes.
And he's microwaving it, and he just goes. I've been walking around.
Like walking around
I've been walking around since then doing that. Like just like. But it's so silly. And then there's the wall back to the snake clowns.
Yes.
He's looking at the pictures on the wall, and like just it's so funny because it's like it's the Batman character so influenced by not Will Arnett but Job. Like, you know what I mean?
But I didn't see any illusions.
Just the attitude, like the character's attitude, and he's like, did you? He's
the way he replies and stuff like that, like
like
snaps back is very Job-like. Like,
which obviously the Job character is then obviously from Will Arnett and blah blah blah, but still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure that whole ownership of that has gone on. But
right.
Thankfully, in a child's movie about like a Batman, we didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Forget me nows.
There's so he's looking at the pictures, and he's like looking at the family photo, and he's like starting to zone out, and Alfred comes in and he's like, oh, I know what you were doing, and he's like, you're looking at the family photos. He's like, oh, what family photos? Oh, I didn't even notice those were there. Oh, how long have those been there? And he's doing this.
Yeah,
it's just so funny. He's just so. I love Will Arnett. I think that's just part of it too. But I love Batman too. So like putting those two together just works for me.
And he's a perfect fit as him.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like kind of the evolution of my thought about Will Arnett, like over the years, because I do think he's hysterical. Like you mentioned Blades of Glory. He only has like 4 lines that matter in that movie, but he cracks me up every time. Like when they're guilt tripping. Like, remember how they used to be alive?
Yeah.
Like, it's so perfect, but, like, also, I still can't stand him.
Mom and Dad.
I still can't stand him sometimes in Arrested Development. As much as I think he's hysterical, like, Job is just so flat-out unlikable that, sometimes it actually makes me...
Who are you going to believe? Who are you going to believe? This guy or the guy in the $9,000 pants? What is he...
Honestly, you going to believe him or the guy in the $4,000 pants?
Oh, my God. George Oscar. Bluth. Love that man. Scuttler. The Scuttler.
What?
Is the vehicle that they build.
What?
Do you not remember the Scuttler?
Oh, the Scuttler.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the vehicle they built.
Oh, I hate you so much. But what about like so they put this thing together.
The fact that it had its own personality?
Well, yes! Exactly where I'm going with this. Not the entire movie. Just the end. Just towards the end. Where he's like, he builds this thing and it's like, oh, also another great scene. I'm pretty sure it's in the trailer as well. Where they're like, why did you build this thing with only one seat? And the selfishness of his Batman. Because I only have one butt. Like, it's so stupid. Yes. But yeah, this guy, which is this weird, like, Batmobile, plane, crawling, walking,
it was basically the
vehicle
definition
thing.
Of all Lego vehicles, because it could be anything.
It could be anything. And then randomly has a personality.
Yes.
All of a sudden,
there's not like, one emotional scene.
It's just like sad and like sulking.
Like, yeah, like it's doing its own thing where it's like
such a weird
you
thing.
too, and it's like sulking away, and then like oh, you have to bring us back to save Batman. Like,
right.
You don't have to, like, follow orders this time. And it's like, okay, and it turns around.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's funny, too, because, like, it's this whole movie, so, like, there's this, the whole underlying thing was that, like, there's, the main, or what's kind of advertised as the main conflict is between the Joker and Batman, and then it's the fact that the Joker wants Batman to recognize that he's his greatest enemy. And Batman says Superman's he doesn't have... Enemy. Yeah, so he says Superman's his greatest enemy.
He's
and
not a bad guy.
Yeah, that really throws the Joker for a loop, which is great. But then...
and they sold it, too, with that picture of, like, the Joker when he's, like, devastated.
Yeah. Like the quivering lip. So with the one tooth, yes. Whatever the hell that was about.
Tooth or whatever, like...
It's so ridiculous. And then, the bomb too. For whatever reason, the Lego architecture of the bomb cracked me up too. But at the end of the movie,
they kind of jumped the shark with the ending, though.
They did, but at the end of the movie, the bomb goes off and the world's splitting apart, and they all stack on top of each other. But the way that they did it, whether he was like. One of them was like, we gotta use our heads. And the other one was like, we gotta go to, like, work together. And they were like, he's like, you're right. We have to use our heads and work together. And, like, they build this ladder of people.
Where they're standing on each other's heads.
Yeah, standing on each other. And then join, like, fall back to join and pull each other together. That whole time, like, I was stupidly invested in what was happening.
Why? Because the world was literally splitting apart?
Yes.
Because... The explanation of that was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, and they were going to fall into, like, the nothingness or whatever the hell that was.
Because apparently underneath a city is the nothingness. The void itself.
Which is like what they did in the Lego movie, and I wonder, like, are you supposed to get
that this is also someone playing?
It's also like a kid's playroom, which, like, to a degree. But if they are actually, like, doubling down and sticking with that, this is a playroom.
That would make sense.
In all that, like, that's really cool if they do that. But
that whole thing though was just a little. Like, overdone. And like...
I agree. It was overdone. And, like, overall, the movie itself, it wasn't nearly as good as the Lego movie.
No, but it was still pretty damn solid.
It was entertaining. And it was silly. And the callbacks to all Batman stuff for Batman fans. We could have
a Lego Batman drinking game in which everyone drinks every time you say silly in this episode.
Yeah.
It's been about 45 times.
Yeah. We're getting silly.
The word was right.
There's literally no other word for this movie.
No, it's the right word. It's just, it has been ever present.
Silly. Silly. It is. If you do make a drinking game out of this is where you die.
It is silly. It is silly how present it is.
It is. Fair. It's funny because I can't think of another word. That's why it keeps coming out like that.
Whimsical.
No, that's Grand Budapest Hotel. We'll talk about that another time.
I would love to.
Another favorite of ours.
Oh, man. That's right. I forgot you like that, too.
Yeah. So, that's Lego Batman. I suggest, yes, if you're a Batman fan, definitely see it. If you like the Lego movie,
watch it.
Check it out. Don't rush to the theater for it.
No.
Check it out.
You can wait, but it should be on your watch list.
If you're bored and you got nothing else to watch,
you could do worse.
And it's available.
Do way worse.
Yeah, you could do way worse than Lego movie. You could, like, watch Batman and Robin. Anyway, that has been episode 4 of Flix and a Six, a Spinchoon production. Check out spinchoon.com to catch new episodes every Monday and a new article every Thursday. If you want to keep the conversation going, you can reach us at The Spinchoon on Twitter and Facebook, or email thespinchoon@gmail.com. That's TheSpinchoon. Thanks for tuning in.